waste elections. APNU-AFC coalition Manifesto dubbed a contract with Guyanese, each region to have a technical institute, and Russell workers reassured of government's full support. Stay with us as we take you through major stories covered from February 8 to 14, 2020. We have 8 days to go as we prepare for the Golden Jubilee Republic anniversary. Thank you for joining us. President David Granger has described the APNU-AFC Coalition Manifesto as a contract with the people of Guyana. He expressed this view at the document's official launch on Friday.
President David Granger reiterated what he described as the Big Benab concept as he invited all who were interested to join the coalition. He noted that the process was not a flash decision which was arrived at suddenly, but rather it encompassed a lot of work to get it to this point. He noted that it was more than just a manifesto, but rather it was a contract with the people of Guyana.
We speak to all persons, all individuals, all institutions, civil society, non-governmental organizations to come into this Big Benab, and that's what the coalition represents. That's why we succeeded, and that's why I'm confident we'll succeed beyond the 2nd of March.
He added that the manifesto represented the interests of the majority of those in the populace who voted for the 6 parties which encompass the coalition.
It is an agreement which has come out of the intellect and the interests of the majority parties in the former parliament, but in this country. The over 207,000 persons who came out to vote for APNU and AFC have their views embedded in this document here today. So it is agreeable to the majority of people, even before we start.
In closing, the President described it as affordable, agreeable, and attainable.
We are not talking pie in the sky. We have made plans for revenues. We have made plans for the judicious and prudent use of our revenues to ensure that everything we promise will be funded. It will take a period of time over the next 5 years. Everything will not happen in 2020, but over the period, you will see that funds will be provided and the people of this country will be satisfied.
President Granger described the coalition manifesto as easy to understand.
Anyone in Stabroek could read this and understand what we're talking about. It is straightforward. No confusing language, no high-flown concepts. But every Guyanese could read and understand what we have here. Something that is sincere, something that is simple, something that is straightforward. And we promise you, the Guyanese people, that we will perform what we have promised here. We will produce, we will deliver.
From the coalition campaign's headquarters for InfoHub, Paul McAdam.
To prepare Guyanese youth for the oil and gas sector, His Excellency David Granger announced that every capital town will have a technical institute.
There's a technical institute in Region 6. There's now a technical institute in Region 2 and in Region 9. Every capital town will have a technical institute, so our young people will be trained in technical skills to equip them to work in the oil industry. That is why this coalition created 4 new tongues.
The president was speaking to thousands of Guyanese at a Northern Coalition rally held at Bayrock, Westmoreland. The head of state reminded that his government has already been working for the youth in several areas, providing employment opportunities. And with Guyana's current oil and gas sector, the country's young people must be at the forefront. On January 1 of this year, the head of state announced the beginning of the decade of development, which will significantly improve the lives of all Guyanese with revenues from the oil and gas sector. Government's plan for Guyana during the decade of development includes a continued focus on education. There will be universal primary and secondary education, as well as free education at the university level. The head of state called on Guyanese to choose the decade of development over the decades of troubles. The president reminded that between 2000 and 2010, under the previous administration, some 1,431 homicides were committed.
Ask yourselves some questions, and in your own heart, answer them as you go home, ask yourself, having gone through the previous 23 years, do you want the Phantom Squad to come back? Do you want another Pradoville? Do you want another Skeldon factory? Do you want another fiber optic cable? Well, don't bring back the PPP then.
Meanwhile, the president said the coalition is confident that the votes from the mining tongue will be enough to return it to office. He said the coalition was able to win the 2015 elections because of Linden, and there is no doubt it will do the same for the March 2, 2020 polls. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
As part of Guyana's celebration of its Golden Jubilee anniversary, His Excellency David Granger hosted a luncheon on Friday for some of the nation's senior citizens.
Deeming Guyana's Golden Jubilee a great political significance, President Granger expressed that he wanted senior citizens to be included in the nation's celebration.
I really wanted you to feel part of this great national celebration when we broke our final ties with the United Kingdom, and we no longer, like some other countries in the Caribbean, had any allegiance to the British Crown.
Reflecting on the moment Guyana gained its Republican status, the head of state encouraged those present to share the memories with youths.
Coming together at the time of this important Republic anniversary is important for all of us Guyanese. And that is the real reason why we asked you to come today, so that we could reminisce, those of us who were alive and adult at that time, 23rd of February, 1970, would remember the magic of being members of a new state, being citizens of a sovereign state. So for us who were young at that time, it is a moment of tremendous pride. And today I've asked you to come here to remember that pride and to share that pride with future generations.
Minister of Social Protection, the Honorable Amna Ali, on Thursday paid a visit to Rusal workers, where she reassured them of the government's continued support.
I want to say to you this morning that you must be assured that the Department of Labor is selling you out and the government is on your side. We love you, we want you, we need you. And like I said earlier, we have alternatives.
The Social Protection Minister was warmly received by the disgruntled workers as they used the opportunity to express their frustration. Minister Ali assured that the government will not rest until the issue is resolved.
So one way or the other, whichever 6 months we got, you hear me? Whichever 6 months we have, we will make full use of it. And be assured that 6 months or no months, we are definitely going to go to arbitration.
A relative of a former Rusal worker expressed their appreciation for Minister Ali's visit.
I think it was really indeed a pleasure having her here, and we as wives of employees who got laid off from the Rusal workers, we appreciate her presence here a lot, and we appreciate what herself, the government, and the union is doing for the workers here at Kokwani.
The workers also expressed appreciation for the Social Protection Minister's donation of food hampers. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
The site was on Wednesday turned for the construction of the Ministry of Public Health, Entomology and Epidemiology Lab, as well as the Guyana Gold Board headquarters.
The two buildings will be constructed on a plot of land at Liliandal, where the Public Health Ministry's Medics building was previously housed before it was destroyed by fire in 2014. The Epidemiology and Entomology Lab is said to be a groundbreaking project for the Ministry of Public Health, as it will enhance and expand work in this particular area. Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valdo Lawrence.
We will be able to roll out many activities such as mosquito capture and identification testing for the emergency of resistance to insecticides, which are currently used, and most importantly, for us to carry out our research activities. The potential for impact is significant, as this will contribute to the control and elimination of vector-borne diseases in Guyana.
Speaking on behalf of the Gold Board was General Manager Endrin Thompson, who said sharing this space with the Ministry of Public Health will allow maximized output in a modern environment. Added to this, Natural Resources Minister the Honorable Raphael Trotman noted that this move is demonstrative of the synergy between the two ministries.
I approached Minister Lawrence and she says, but we have that site earmarked for something else already. And over some discussion, we were able to persuade each other that there could be synergies, which I believe Pastor Haywood perfectly captured when he said the health and the wealth could be combined in this one spot. Not only will people be able to come here to be tested for malaria and other services, which I can tell you those who traverse the interior need, they can also sell and trade in gold.
The two facilities will provide services for miners and those persons who traverse hinterland communities constantly. Also, both buildings will provide a permanent and more conducive workspace for staff, as there is a push by government to modernize the work environment. For InfoHub, I am Kelon Rover.
Residents of the East Berbice quarantine region no longer have to travel to Georgetown to seek immigration services, as an almost $60 million immigration and passport office was commissioned in the region.
The Immigration and Passport Office in the East Berbice quarantine region was officially opened on Thursday. This divisional headquarters will provide effective and efficient services to residents in both regions 5 and 6.
I'm so happy to be a part of this activity this afternoon. I believe it's a great initiative by the government, and I hope it's replicated in more regions as well, so that people can see how comfortable it is.
There are a lot of people who travel from Berbice to Georgetown. They don't even know where they are going. Like the old folks, they don't know where they are going. So they have to pay a lot of money to reach there, that is one. And then they have to have money to get things to eat. So you save all that. Thanks to our President Granger for donating this building to us.
I don't have to worry about taking my family all in the morning to Georgetown. I can now do it at my own convenient time.
During the opening ceremony, Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, noted that the facility is part of a wider plan by the government to ensure the provision of its services.
What is happening in immigration is symptomatic of what is happening in this entire country. When we came into office, we took this position that the suffering which we saw that people had to go through to get government services, we had to put that to an end.
Minister of Citizenship, the Honorable Winston Felix, explained that following the completion of the building, it was put into service to test the equipment and the efficiency of the services offered. Thus far, some 6,122 applications were accepted and successfully processed. Reporting from the Immigration and Passport Office in Region 6 with videographer Paul Bridgemahan, I am Kellan Rover for InfoHub.
In another show of commitment by the coalition government to providing modernized and improved health services, a spanking new $30 million primary health care facility was on Wednesday morning commissioned in Eccles, East Bank, Demerara.
Covering a catchment area of 6,000 residents, the health center has already begun offering a range of services, with a general medical officer, registered and assistant nurses, midwife and family medicine specialist. Residents of Eccles Ramsburg will be receiving optimum medical care. Public Health Minister Valda Lawrence said that the government's vision for a prosperous Guyana also includes providing the best of health services to its people.
The vision of the government of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana and the Ministry of Public Health is to ensure that all of us, every boy, every girl, every woman and man, live to their fullest potential. As the children sang, oil, money flowing. You can have all of that, we know, but if you don't have good health, then what's the use?
The services offered by the trained professionals include diagnosis and treatment of chronic diseases, foot care, child and adolescent health care, prenatal care, as well as voluntary counseling and testing.
Since we've been here, we have heard from you, we've heard what you've been telling us, that you have been waiting for a really long time. You would know from coming here, and you may observe as you continue to come, that it's not just your ordinary health center where you'll go and get repeated medication, right? You have the service of family doctors, and Dr. Jones ensured this. And even those who are not family doctors at this facility, they're exposed to the same level of teaching and care that the family doctors give.
Prior to the establishment of the health center, residents were accommodated at the Diamond and other neighboring health centers. For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
President David Granger has predicted the coalition government's victory after the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections and has called on all to come under the green and gold banner of the APNU-AFC as it stands for unity and inclusivity.
President Granger said the incumbent's successive victory will be so great that it would eventually weaken the opposition's dominance on the political stage. He said people across Guyana are leaving their traditional political strongholds and are joining what he has said now became a new movement.
Everywhere in this country, people are coming over to the APNU-AFC. It's a movement of Jah people, a movement. It's not a party here, vote this, vote that. It's a movement. All the people are feeling this energy that APNU-AFC is generating to develop this country.
He reminded that the government remains steadfast to its duty, erecting structures across sectors.
Everywhere the APNU-AFC is building clinics, building wells, developing facilities for the people. We are building schools. We're making life comfortable for the people of this country.
President Granger committed to ensuring the full potential of the Patara-Siparuni region is realized.
Residents of this great region, you might be a region with the smallest population, but you have the potential. And what you need now is the type of government that will continue to build on the potential of Patara-Siparuni. And the government that you've seen operating over the last 4.5 years is the APNU-AFC government.
For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Local culture, food, costumes, dance, fashion and craft were on display at the first ever Mashramani village was declared open by Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu.
Walk out, my girl, walk out. Walk out, 'cause you run the road. No other girl can't open your mouth. You're independent, girl, jump and...
Marcia Gonzalez, Cubana Region 1 born indigenous woman, now living on the coast, is bringing her authentic indigenous flavors to the first ever Mashramani village at Durban Park. Gonzalez produces and markets cassava bread, farine, casrip, coconut and crab oils.
I ventured around because I grew up with a single parent mother and she worked everywhere to make a living. But eventually I came to Georgetown at the age of 15 and I worked with people. But now I got married and I have my own business and this is what I do for a living now.
Being held until February 18, the Mashramani village was declared open on Thursday by Prime Minister the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, who sampled the food and enjoyed the art and culture.
The Golden Jubilee, of course, is of great significance to all Guyanese is that we could celebrate 50 years of being a completely free, sovereign, liberated state.
Minister of Social Cohesion, the Honourable Dr. George Norton, reflected on the unique nature of the Guyanese.
Matrimony depicts who we are as a people. It showcases and celebrates our individualities and the unique identity that we were able to cultivate as a land of 6 distinctly vibrant peoples.
Performing at the Match Village were Junior Calypso Queen 2020 Omaya Hall, Junior Soca Monarch winner Relon Summer, a visually impaired 17-year-old, and Soca competition finalist Melissa Vanilla Roberts, along with St. Cuthbert's Mission Youth. The Mashimani Village is part of the plethora of activities being held in celebration of Guyana's Golden Jubilee Republic Anniversary, themed Guyana Together, Reflect, Celebrate, Transform. Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
In an effort to catapult business development in the East Berbice Quarantine region, the Small Business Bureau on Wednesday launched the nation's first business incubator.
Shafiza Smith, owner of Shizomi King Manufacturing Enterprise, a business dedicated towards producing multi-purpose coconut products, said the business incubator's launch is timely.
This facility is a godsend for us, manufacturers, small business owners, because it's very challenging to start up a business, to maintain it and to have it grow.
As such, the businesswoman looks forward to enrolling at the center.
For my dehydrating, I would have had to do it in my oven or in my skillet, where I'm able to control the hygiene, do it in small amounts. I can do small amounts and grow. I need to do it in large amounts to be able to supply the demand that is out there for the products that I do.
Another businesswoman, Melbourne Lagadu, who produces and sells a variety of agro-processed treats, also anticipates joining the business incubator to gain more knowledge in the field of finance.
Budget on my finance and marketing. Yes, that would be able to take me a great way.
Minister of Business, the Honorable Hemraj Rajkumar, in the feature address noted the center is designed to nurture businesses.
The environment created at this center will lend itself to the creation of a viable business that are able to stand on their own, be competitive, and of course, be successful.
Entrepreneurs will learn various skills that will help to promote the growth of their businesses. The facility will also house manufacturing equipment for small businesses to produce their products at a subsidized cost. By the end of March, the facility is expected to be fully operational. Another business incubator in Lethem is soon to open. Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
Close to $13 million in grants were presented to Region 9 villages for green sustainable economic projects.
10 communities received $12.8 million in grants during a recent community engagement in Karasabai and Anai Region 9. The checks and other items were handed over to the village leaders by Prime Minister the Honorable Moses Nagamotu and Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs the Honorable Sidney Alicock. Napi Village received $5 million for the construction of a benab and kitchen at the Eco Lodge. Sarama, $1.5 million to build the Eco Lodge's main benab. Fairview, $1 million for the construction of a village shop. Taushido, $1 million for repairs to the village tractor. And Yorongparu, $1 million for the construction of a community center. Sarama, Kwatamang, Paipang, and Tiger Pond received $500,000 each for a fruit farm. InfoHub spoke with the village leaders who expressed gratitude to the government for the support.
I think this the project will help us towards the development for our communities, for our future and generation. So it is very, very, very great that the present ministry and the ruling government are doing to our communities.
I'm very glad that once I receive $500,000 today, I have to sit with my village council to discuss how to use the finance. And it will be more great that instead of I personally doing it, I have to sit down publicly.
Meanwhile, an ATV worth $2.65 million was given to the newly appointed Community Development Officer serving those mountainous villages within the Pakarama district. Paipang received a generator set and the villages received material for fencing farmlands. These initiatives are part of the government's strategy to ensure indigenous communities can sustain themselves, thereby removing the culture of dependency. Sneaker Thorne, InfoHub.
Public Security Minister, the Honorable Kemraj Ramtatan, told thousands of Lindeners that working together is essential for the nation's development.
Minister Ramtatan told thousands at the well-attended rally in Linden that the only way forward for Ghana's development was through united effort. He noted that Ghana's founding leaders started a process and the coalition is fostering what he described as a seed for national unity.
We can have all the oil monies we want. We can have all the revenues from gold and bauxite and rice and sugar. But we can end up not having in a country or living in a country unless we have national unity.
He explained that under the Cummingsburg Accord, unity is finally being given a chance. He cited the analogy of the partnerships forged by cricketing greats.
It used to be Rohan Kanai and Basil Butcher. You get my message? It's the talents of the various Afro-Guyanese and Indo-Guyanese and other Guyanese, Amerindian Guyanese that will do it for us, brothers and sisters. And after that generation passed, we had Alvin Kalicharan and Clive Lloyd doing it for us. And after that had passed, we had Chandapal and Carl Hooper doing it for us.
He urged all to work together to ensure that the nation attains its development.
With the credible leadership and the competent leadership that we have, as against the counterfeit and fake that they have, the accomplishments on our side, the non-accomplishments on their side, we must ensure that come 2nd of March, we continue the progress.
Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
At a media conference on Monday, Director of the Department of Energy, Dr. Mark Bino, announced that a local content policy for the oil and gas sector has been completed.
The Energy Director told the media that Guyana's first lift of crude, which was sold to Shell, is scheduled for next week.
Guyana's first lift of approximately 1 million barrels is scheduled for early next week. This will represent part of Guyana's profit oil allocation of 12.5%. Additionally, the country will be receiving its 2% royalty on gross production of all oil produced.
Dr. Bino also disclosed that the local content policy has been completed and printed.
It remains what we call a fit-for-purpose policy, as it offers a balanced alignment between the Government of Guyana policy goals, whilst maintaining consistency with Guyana's international and regional trade and economic cooperation obligations.
The DOE head also provided an update on the construction of the Liza Unity, which is progressing smoothly. For InfoHub, Anara Khan.
Life for pregnant women and new mothers living along the East Bank corridor will be much easier as a $12 million maternity ward at the Diamond Diagnostic Center was on Wednesday commissioned by the Ministry of Public Health.
The facility also includes a neonatal intensive care unit. The unit was commissioned by Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valda Lawrence, who noted that the ministry is making bold steps geared at improving health system, including maternal and child health services.
We're striving to have the best healthcare system in the Americas, and we have to recognize the efforts made by our nursing fraternity to improve themselves, improve their skills, so that they can be able to better serve the communities.
Welcoming the new unit, Dr. Abdullah Amin said that the situation has improved tremendously compared to when he joined the hospital 10 years ago.
In the beginning, in 2010, when we came here, we had a room, maybe 8 feet by 8 feet room with a delivery bed, and that we start doing delivery, and we're doing delivery here. From then, 2010 to 2019-20, then this is what we arrive at. And I praise God that today that our Honorable Minister can come and declare some magnificent something like this, where our Guyanese women and foreign women can come and deliver.
The unit is manned by staff nurse midwife Trivadi Bowen Mandu, along with 6 doctors and 5 midwives. The neonatal intensive care unit can accommodate 3 newborns at the same time. The hospital is also outfitted with a main operating theater to readily carry out emergency surgeries after a delivery. Since its opening, the unit has been attending to several prenatal cases. 9 babies have so far been delivered for this year. Last year, the unit saw the safe delivery of over 70 babies. For InfoHub, I am Kellon Rover.
More development in the health sector as a new health facility has been commissioned in the Cuyuni-Mazaruni region, this time at Puruni. Standing at a cost of $11.2 million, it is the first time such a facility has been established in that area.
The establishment of this health post will place emphasis on malaria prevention by ensuring persons learn how to protect themselves against the illness. Minister of Public Health, the Honorable Valdo Lawrence, who commissioned the facility, said that while there are curative measures and treatment methods for this and other illnesses being administered, the primary focus is to promote the idea of prevention is better than cure.
Even as we open this health center and provide you with the necessary health services, basically a package of primary health care, we want to also ask you to be a part of your own well-being, for you to be very careful of how you treat with your body and what you put inside of your body.
The regional chairman, Gordon Bradford, explained that while Puruni will be the focal point for the delivery of healthcare services, there are mining camps and nearby villages which can tap into the services offered at the facility. He added that in the region's next budget, authorities will cater for the construction of a doctor's quarters to have a resident doctor at the health post.
Today it's indeed a dream come true, and I hope that this facility will serve the true purpose that is intended. And so miners from Olive Creek and all over, Barkat Landing, upriver, downriver, I know you'll have your work cut out, and that's why this location here, Puruni, we recognize as the second largest population to Bartica. Because scattered around this whole mining area, it's like about 6,000-7,000 persons living in different areas.
A medics and community health worker will be manning the health facility with a doctor who will be visiting from time to time to conduct clinic visits. For InfoHub, Delicia Haynes.
More than 314,000 persons visited Guyana in 2019, for the first time ever surpassing the 300,000 mark and contributing $68 billion to the local economy.
This was revealed on Tuesday as senior officials from the tourism sector met members of the media with the aim of fostering relations to boost the sector. More than 286,000 persons visited Guyana in 2018 and more than 314,000 in 2019, which resulted in the tourism sector contributing approximately $68 billion to the economy last year alone. In 2019, Guyana won 6 tourism awards, including the world's #1 best ecotourism destination. These helped to propel Guyana's marketing effort. Beginning in November through February 2020, Guyana began receiving an increase in the amount of prominent media coverage from high-end media outlets. Director of the Guyana Tourism Authority, Brian Mullis, noted that even locally more coverage is being provided in relation to tourism.
The various stories and the reasons that tourism is a force for good in Guyana has also been featured much more prominently in our domestic media. We've noticed more stories, we've been putting out more press releases, we've been sharing more information with the press, and we can't thank you enough for helping to raise awareness of the importance of tourism in Guyana.
The need for media entities to be assisted with reaching tourism destinations, which are mostly in remote areas, was highlighted at the engagement. The tourism sector is now the second highest contributor to the economy after gold, and the GTA is hoping that the sector benefits from an increased budgetary allocation. Director General of the Department of Tourism, Donald Sinclair, also noted the achievements of the department in 2019, such as the initiation of the Three Guyanas collaboration and the signing of the Guyana-Suriname Tourism Accord.
We also obtained a commitment from the three territories again for the hosting of a tourism expo of the Guyanas in each of the three territories over a 3-year period. That is a significant achievement because it will allow the three territories to tell the world what each has to offer as a tourism destination.
Sinclair also spoke of the first Agri-Tourism Expo, the establishment of the regional tourism committees, the rum route, and other initiatives the department has undertaken to boost local tourism. Reporting for InfoHub, Natasha Smith.
This has been InfoHub Recap, which looked at major stories carried from February 8 to 14, 2020. Remember to subscribe to our website for more stories and follow us on our social media platforms. Also, do take some time to review the Diaspora Digest and other publications found on our website. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend, and remember, we're one people, one nation with one destiny. Goodbye for now.